Right, this is part 9 of Project PAHOOT, and it's been probably 4 weeks since I last got near it. We've had Christmas, we've had New Year. I decided to fall off my bike over New Year, and I've only just really started being able to walk properly. And this is the first time I've actually got close to it. So, bit of an update. Engine, as we know, is out. Gearbox I took out, obviously took the shaft off as well, but those two are both sold. The engine was over here, if you remember, it was in this little gap here. That's gone. That's sold within about 6 hours of me putting it up on the marketplace. I got exactly what I wanted for it, so I'm now I've put a deposit down on the new engine, hopefully going to get that very, very soon. That should be out of the car that it's in this weekend. So I might well go and grab it this weekend. Gearbox sold for exactly what I wanted for. A guy travelled up all the way from Devon, I believe, to pick that up, because there's no one down there selling them. So that's now gone. Obviously shaft is out, so I'm going to work now on getting as much of this stuff off the chassis as possible. All the wiring, any brake lines, try and get the suspension off it. I've got too much stuff in my way here. Get this radiator out, because I'm now at the stage where I want to look at getting this chassis blasted, or have a go at blasting it myself and see what, if anything, needs welding, apart from the obvious bit over here that I pointed out last time, which is this bit here, this plate. But all this lot's going to be rebuilt anyway, because that's where the seat belts reels bolt in originally. That's going to get completely upgraded, and obviously these anchors here for seat belts will be getting sorted out. So I think I'm just going to get busy pulling stuff off, cutting stuff off. Again, I'll probably chop all these. It's probably just going to be easier, more beneficial to cut all the suspension bolts off, because they won't be going back on anyway. I'll put all new stuff in, probably metric, and yeah, see where that gets me. I've got a couple of ideas for brakes and wheels. I'm hopefully going to go and pick up some wheels for it soon. They're off a Honda Civic, same PCD. May fit, may not, I don't know, but for that cheap I'm not that bothered. Brakes, got some ideas. I've got my eyes on some calipers, 4-pot calipers for the front, and then look at doing a proper disc brake conversion at the back. I'll have to get the wheels off to see what's entailed there, but let's have a give it a bit of a once over and then have a crack at getting stuff off. I'm just going to be brutal with it. I'll have to cut things off, I think, because not a lot of this is going back on. Obviously the major stuff like suspension is, but the wiring loom is probably, it may not survive, or it may not go back on the chassis. I'm going to try and get all the wiring to route through the body, just to keep it away from anything that's wet and horrible and grimy, and make things a bit tidier. Look to, in the future, make it a lot easier to remove the body by just having like a simple like a plug down there somewhere in the body, in the engine area, that just unplugs, and that disconnects the entire front end of the car and the engine, and the rest of it is all routed inside it, and apart from a couple of earths, it'll all be I can hear birds making a funny noise in here. There's a bird's nest somewhere. It's up there somewhere. I can hear you. Right, okay. Right, let's crack on. Let's see what comes off easily and what doesn't. I'm not expecting anything to come off easily, but them's the brakes, aren't they? The wiring loom came off really easily. That's it. I think that's either it smells like brake fluid, but it's really gone off brake fluid. So I'm just going to shut the radio up for a second. But yeah, so loom came off really easy. It's all these really nice, easy, sort of like, I don't know what they are. They're like just little small metal tabs that bend over. There we go. Get rid of them. So I'm going to get the brake lines off next. I'm just going to be brutal and cut them, and then get that radiator out. And it's just suspension then. We'll see how we go. Right, crack on. Fun and games. Right, radiator is out. Oh, spark plug there. It's no use. That came out easily enough. Brake lines all snapped off. So they've all gone in the bin. There's not a single piece of them is going to go back on. I'm going to try and actually undo the suspension rather than just cut it off. I'm going to try. Might not work, but I've just lubricated up all the front end here. So we can try once I've got the wheels off, and failing that I will just cut things and then bash it all about a little bit. But it may surprise me, it may work. I don't think it will, but you never know. This car has surprised me so far, and I'll probably do the same at the back as well. I will give it a try. I'll lubricate these trailing arms here. Springs do look a bit crusty, dampers. But I'll give it a couple of turns. If they don't work, I'll just get the grinder out and cut everything off. I'm going to cut these bits off here, whatever this is. This is the old bumper bar. That's got to come out. I've got to get them out somehow. They're going to be a pain. Exhaust hangers can go. I'm going to cut the bumper bar off because I've made the decision I'm going to run this without bumpers. Rather than trying to find a rear bumper and pay near enough what I paid for the car for the bumper, I'll just go without one. It doesn't need it. They look better without them. It looks quite mean without them, so we'll go down that route. It saves me a few quid. It means I can also sell the front bumper and the overriders to buy something else for the car. But let's get the spanners out, see if we can get this front suspension off, and I'll get the wheels off first and then see where that lands us. If not, I'll get the grinder out and I'll make a few sparks. Right, well, I'm going to have to cut the suspension off because the bolts are all shagged. I mean, I've already cut the anti-roll bar off, but I'm a bit pressed for time today, and what I don't want to do is disconnect all the steering and suspension and leave myself unable to move this thing off the ramp. So I'm going to put the wheel back on and just go around while I've got the grinder out and cut off the heads of any bolts, of anything like this here, and tabs and those kind of things, and whatever else I can remove from it for the time being. I better shut Led Zeppelin up, otherwise I'll get a copyright strike. Yeah, just cut off anything that's not needed or is not going to be used again, and then when I've got enough time I will take the suspension off The front suspension looks like it's reasonably involved to take off. There's a lot of bits here and there. I'm going to have to cut these brake flexi lines off. I suppose I could even try to undo them, but knowing what this thing is like, it'll just fight me. So I'll just cut my losses, pardon the pun, and just cut everything off. It's a lot easier. And then just having an eye up of the disc and hub situation. I was hoping to do a disc upgrade to something else. It's how I fasten them to the to this hub is what interests me. I'm looking at maybe the discs. I was looking at the discs off a Volvo S40 because it has the same PCD, but PCD doesn't matter because the disc bolts to this, not to here. So I'm going to have to rethink that, and it'll all depend on the offset of the wheels, because these are quite. The offset on these is very it's very almost bang on central, so it's a 0 offset. And I think whatever wheels I'm putting on, I think they're like a 40mm stepped ET40, so they're stepped out, so the wheel is going to sit in, it's going to be touching the top knuckle potentially, and also be too far inboard of the car, so I'm probably going to need spacers, but I'll worry about that nearer the time. But yeah, I'll just get chopping some stuff off now to tidy it up a bit, and then I can roll it back into its little hidey hole and look at getting the wheels sold, and then start looking at springs or maybe full coilovers, maybe, depending, because I wouldn't mind some lower springs, because it sits about 2 inches too high at the moment. It's in Dakar spec. That needs addressing, but it's just yet another hurdle on the scimitar run. But anti-roll bars off. That looks to be in half decent condition. It now needs new mounts, but well, the mounts are toast, but I will get some silicone ones for that, and new drop links. But everything's gonna be new anyway. Radiator off. Get a new radiator, bigger one for the engine that is coming for it, which will be revealed at some point, hopefully. If I can go and get that this weekend, I'll be very happy, and we'll add that in. But let's get cutting. Right, both batteries have died for my grinder, but I've got some stuff out. Got some holes, got these bolts out here, hammered that one out, cut the old exhaust hanger off there. These are going to come out with the suspension, so I'm not worried about them. A couple of, I need to miss that earth there. That wants a good tickling this side out, but around here, I'm probably just going to cut most of that out anyway. I've managed to bash the bolt out underneath, but it's just sort of, this side here is just sort of hanging around. That one, that'll fall out once I cut it. They'll be the same. Cut the head off them and just bash them down. Same there. That'll come off with it then. And apart from just bits of rubber and some little bits here and there, that's only things that need cutting off the chassis. I'll cut off all these little fold-up tangs that hold on the, or did hold on the loom. I'll get rid of all them. Don't need them anymore. Like I said, the loom's going to go in the body anyway. And then yeah, work on getting this bumper bar off. Cut the top of them off. Work out a way of cutting them out. I'll probably just try and cut through there. I'll probably get the still saw for that, because it's just a matter if it gets butchered, because it's going to end up in the scrap bin anyway. So I've run out of time. I'm going to roll it away for the day. Come back next time, hopefully with a bit more time, and get all the suspension and everything off and get it down to just a chassis that I can stick on a pallet and hopefully send off for shop blasting if I get a decent enough price back. I've only had one price so far, at a price of £300. To be honest, I thought it would be less than that, so I'll see if I can get it cheaper. But I need it in a state where it can actually go to be blasted before I'm ready. But yeah, get all the front suspension off, and then work out an issue with the brakes once all that's off. Same with the rear, and work out how to do a disc conversion on that, because I don't know how I'm going to do that. But once the wheels are off, it'll be easier to work out. I might be able to get away with keeping the original backing plate on to hold the axles in, and then find a way of getting a disc onto the hub. But like I said, I need to have the wheel off to do that, and the drum itself off. Job's a good one. Right, got a fair chunk done today. I'm happy with that. Until next time.